I use an app called Video to do my editing, and they have introduced some beta improvements, and I say improvements in air quotes. Some of the so called improvements are nice, and some of the changes are not improvements. So, editing today's video has been like learning a completely new video editing program. For that reason, I don't have pictures with today. I don't have pictures, so it's just me talking, plus the intro and outro that you usually see. Hopefully, they can get these bizarre issues fixed, or else I'll be going back to the original version or looking for a new video editing software. Alrighty, with that, let's get on with today's video. Hi there, and welcome to this day in history for August 4th. August 4th is the 216th day of the year in the Gregorian calendar, 217th in leap years, with 149 days remaining to the end of the year. I got today's word from A Word a Day at wordsmith.org, and it's Clamant, C-L-A-M-A-N-T. Clamant is an adjective that means loud, demanding attention, or urgent. This word comes to us from a Latin word that means to cry out. Earliest documented use of the word clamant is 1639. Anyway, with that, August 3rd, 1327, during the First War of Scottish Independence, James Douglas led a raid into Weardale and almost killed Edward III of England. So I thought, what does that mean, almost killed? I looked for more information, and what I found was that Edward III had become King of England in January of that year. And it turns out he was only 14 years old. His father was still living, too. His mother, Isabella of France, had had his father, Edward II, deposed and installed Edward III as king. Edward III would live another 50 years, dying at the age of 64. August 4th, 1693 is a date traditionally ascribed to Dom Perignon's invention of champagne. Now, truthfully, it's not really all that clear as to whether he himself invented champagne, but he did innovate and develop techniques used to perfect sparkling wine. The Saturday Evening Post was published for the first time on August 4th, 1821, as a weekly newspaper. Oh, yikes, this is the day that the father and stepmother of Lizzie Borden were found murdered in their Fall River, Massachusetts home, August 4th, 1892. Lizzie was tried and acquitted for this crime a year later. Now, if you're interested in the life of Anne Frank, this is the girl who kept the diary that was later published, The Diary of a Young Girl. It was on this day, August 4th, 1944, that a tip from a Dutch informer led the Gestapo to a sealed-off area in an Amsterdam warehouse where they found and arrested Anne, her entire family, and a few other folks. 1964 civil rights workers Michael Schwerner, Andrew Goodman, and James Chaney went missing on June 21st, but they were found dead in Mississippi on August 4th, 1964. And I found this interesting. On August 4th, 1987, the Federal Communications Commission rescinded the Fairness Doctrine, which had previously required radio and television stations to present controversial issues fairly. And it shows. Today's song is Vision of Love by Mariah Carey, number 1, August 1st, 1990. It was the lead single from her first album. In this song, you can hear her touch upon notes in what is called the whistle register. If you've ever heard any of 1990s Mariah Carey, you'll recognize what I'm talking about. She also makes generous use of a technique called melisma, which is the singing of a single syllable of text while moving between several different notes in succession. Melisma may also be referred to as vocal run, as compared to a syllabic technique wherein each syllable of text gets a single note. Her use of melisma reminds me of some of those beautiful gospel choirs you can hear. Alrighty, so that said, Vision of Love has been referred to as the Magna Carta of melisma and has served as inspiration to subsequent artists and American Idol contestants. Of course, there is a link in the description to Vision of Love by Mariah Carey. Vision of Love hit that golden #1 spot on the Billboard Hot 100 on August 4th, 1990, and stayed there for 4 weeks. And I think that's going to do it for us today. Thank you so much for watching. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. Feel free to share this video with a link in your email, messaging, or social media. If you enjoy this series, you can check out the playlist that contains these videos. I'll put a link to that in the description. That description lives on YouTube, so for other platforms, I'll include the link to my blog page that is called No Really. You can also find me on Rumble, Parler, BitChute, and Getter. All those links in that description. Alrighty, that's all I can think of right now. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.